What's up, Nurse Gang? Welcome back to my channel. Another video for you guys. This particular video, I just want to talk to you guys about CYA or B if you don't cuss. Cover your butt, okay? That is a phrase that I learned years ago. I've been in healthcare about 14 years now, 15, 14. I don't know. I ain't gonna count because then y'all gonna find out my age, and that's not okay. But but I've been in healthcare for a long time now, and that's a term that I learned even while I was in CNA school. Was CYA, cover your butt, cover your fanny, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to call it, but it's called CYA. Okay. Pretty much what this means is making sure you protect your license, make sure you protect yourself as a professional, and do what you're supposed to be doing. Okay. So I just want to talk about some scenarios that I've come into that I've come into that it was like, how do I handle this? Like, what am I supposed to do at the end of the day? I got to see why. Hey, see why. We work hard for our licenses. We work hard for our degrees, regardless what field you are in. You work hard to get to where you are. Cover yourself. Make sure you're doing the best that you can, and go from there. Okay. All right. So some scenarios. So, I do long-term care nursing, rehab nursing, things like that. So of course, when we come onto shift, we have to get whatever, and then also have to count the narcotics that's in the cart. So you have the person that's on the shift, they have the binder, which is the sheet for you to sign out any narcotics that you give. So on there to have the patient information, the medication, how much pills or how many pills are supposed to be in the card. Anytime you get one, you sign it out, so that number changes, but at the end of the day, when you count that medication card, the number that's on that sheet in that binder is supposed to match how many pills are in that bottle or the card, or how much liquid that is supposed to be in that container. Okay. All right, so let's get into it. So one scenario I had was, I came onto shift and it was an agency nurse, and we were counting all the pills. And then of course, just like most facilities, after the pills, that's when you have the liquids in the back of the narcotic drawer. Quite often I hear people say this. We get to that point and she said, "Oh, I didn't touch any of the liquids." I say, no offense to you, and it's not personal, but whether you touch it or not, we still supposed to count it, and I'm not taking keys until we count it. So we go through, and by the time I get to the second box, the first box was morphine. That number was a little off, but I was like, okay. Once we got to the second box, I open it. It's a box that's supposed to have liquid Ativan, lorazepam in it. There's nothing in the box. Nothing in the box. So she says to me, "Oh, the other nurse told me that it's supposed to be in the fridge." And I'm saying to myself, well, if the medication is supposed to be in the fridge, why would the box be in a cart? Not saying it's impossible, because of course with Ativan, it's supposed to stay in the fridge, and then once you open it, you put it in the cart. So I'm saying to myself, like, well, why is the box in the cart if the medication is supposed to be in the fridge? So I said, hold on, let me go check. I go check the fridge, because we ain't going no further until I get this rectified. Y'all, look, I done been through some stuff. So I go check the med fridge, not in there. So I come out and I say, hey, it's not in there. The lorazepam not in there. Well, they said, I said, okay, well, that's fine. Let me just call a supervisor right quick. That way it can get rectified. You can go and I'll be able to take the keys, but after we get it rectified. So I'll call a supervisor. She come up, she checked the med fridge as well. Actually, she was nearby. I didn't even get to go. But I said, hey, I'm glad you up here. So let's check this fridge, because lorazepam not in the cart. She said it's supposed to be in the fridge. It's not in there. So we in there. We clear out the fridge. The medication not in there. So then I say, well, what is supposed to happen, because I'm not taking keys when there's a whole bottle of lorazepam missing. So we come back out the med room. Lo and behold, oh, here it is. It was in a top cart. The top drawer. I don't know. You can take from that what you want to take from that scenario. Um, but always count. That's all I would say. Always count, because let me tell you, me personally, I feel like, I don't know, but I feel like had I not counted that and had I not took those necessary steps, that lorazepam could have been out that door. Because how is it not where it's supposed to be? It's Ativan, it's lorazepam, it's not no Tylenol. So why is it in the top drawer if that's where it was at? I don't know. I don't know. But let me tell you, cover your butt. I don't care if you touch the liquids or not, baby. We counted everything in that drawer before I take keys. Because then once I take keys, I'm responsible for that. So if I would not have done that and it was a whole bottle of lorazepam missing by the time I count with the next shift, that's on me. So be safe, cover your butt, okay? That's one scenario. Another scenario. I came into the facility. I work night shift, right? So I came into the facility. I am never late. I'm the early person. I get there and people get to leave early. That's how early I come to shift. Okay. I come to shift, night shift, which means I relieve two nurses. No nurses there. Keys and cart to one binder, keys and cart to the other binder. So I'm like, oh no, oh no, no, not doing this. Call the supervisor. She came and counted with me. One cart. We get to the other cart, she count. Guess what? Narcotic count is off. So then she's like, hey, okay, well, we're going to call so and so. Sometimes they move real fast and they forget to sign and blah, blah, blah. I said, I hear that, but until you get this rectified, these keys is yours. Like, these ain't my keys. And y'all need to stop letting people leave without having at least one nurse there. For it to be a unit of almost 40 people and not one nurse is on that floor, how is that okay? How? And who you count with? Each other and then just left? So who's held accountable? Cover your butt, y'all. Don't just be taking no bull crap. Because let me tell you, stuff just be going on in these facilities. It be going on in these facilities, okay? Another thing I was working day shift. You know how day shifts typically do all the wounds. So I was working day shift one day, did my wounds, and came from there. So I was off for one day. I came back the next day. Residents say to me, hey, Shar, my wound wasn't done yesterday. I'm like, well, I wasn't here yesterday. Um, so I can't speak on that, but it'll be done today. So then when it was time for me to do the person wound, I go in. Now, mind you, whenever you do a dressing change or wound care, you are to date it, the date of when you performed the wound dressing change, and also initial it as well. How in the world, when I go in there, this dressing, the date, you could tell, because this is with a Sharpie, but you could tell the person wrote over my date and wrote over my initials. So it's like you didn't do the wound care. You signed it out like you did the wound care, but you literally went over my stuff and wrote your own date. Like that date that it was supposed to be changed, that they didn't change. They put that date on there and also wrote over my initials. Y'all. Cover your butt. Cover your butt. Like, when I say it just be some stuff going on, like, what am I supposed to do in that situation? Because, like, nothing. Just change that wound dressing. Let's be 100. You can't do nothing else. It's no point in reporting it. I know they say report this, report. There's no point in reporting, because I'm telling you, you can report the worst of the worst. Well, let me go back. I ain't gonna say it's no point in reporting. Report what you were supposed to report. But when you report, don't do it thinking that there's going to be a huge change, because it's not. So let me go ahead, go back, report. I'm going to tell you not to report. But don't expect much of a change because that's just how it is. Healthcare is different these days. Like they don't be held to certain standards as they should. Okay. All right. So the next one, which one did I want? What else did I want to? Oh. Night shift. I'm a night shift nurse, right? So I come in when I come into the shift, it's like plenty call lights on. It's like I don't want to say plenty. I'm being dramatic, y'all. It's like three or four, but I mean, there's still CNAs, there's still nurses there, so I'm not gonna just go bust answering the call. Like, so I come in, I count with the nurse, I get a report from the nurse, count with the other nurse, get a report from the other nurse. So then I go through and I do my walkthroughs. Says I'm doing my walkthroughs and I'm answering these call lights. I had four. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Residents tell me they never received a bedtime medication. What am I supposed to do in that situation? Like, if these meds were supposed to be given at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, my shift started at 11. What am I, as the next shift nurse, supposed to do in that situation? So, all I can say at that moment to that particular patient or resident is, I'm sorry that happened. I was not here, so I can't speak on it. But let me go and check and see, because if it's not signed out, we can still give it. But if it's signed out, if it's documented, it's done, right? So I go back. Okay, there's like four people saying the same thing. So I go back, and there's a way you can change the thing. Go look at the previous shift documentation. Look, all of the medication is signed out for. So according to the nurse documentation, all of y'all received these pills. But according to four patients, they never received these medications. So now I'm going back and I'm having a dig. Now this cutting into my shift time, because this is when I come in. I'm supposed to be doing my stuff. So now I have to go back each person thing, see what they have, see if they have a PRN for me to be able to administer to them. Because these people that are on my floor, they're alert. Like they alert. So they're probably not lying. Is where I'm getting at with it. However, I can't re-administer medication that is signed out for. You know, like, and then of course the person was agency, and I want to say of course, but just saying that's the reason why I couldn't reach out to the person to verify, because they were agency. So I can't reach out to an agency person and be like, hey, did you do this or blah blah blah. It's safe for me to give the medication. Like, did you forget to give it? It just was like most whatever. I couldn't reach out to the person. So now these people, there's no PRN for melatonins for a number of the people. um they had to go pretty much without those medications, because I can't re-administer something that's already signed out, because then there's a possibility of me double dosing or overdosing a person. So what you supposed to do in that situation? Look at them PRNs. See if anything is sufficient and adds up that can help with the situation of what they were supposed to receive. If not, we cannot give it. Now you got to talk to a supervisor about it, because again, people on my unit is alert. So this is not something you can sweep under the rug, baby. Like, now we got to call a supervisor over this concern and see what we can do about it, right? It's sucky. It's sucky, sucky, sucky. Um, Anything I do, I document. I don't care if it's something that's light. I don't, in my eyes, light. I don't care if it's something that may not be as true. You still have to document. Why? To cover yourself. Because what happens is when they file those complaints and they say, I done told the nurse and the nurse didn't do nothing about it, that falls on you. It's like you don't want to be that nurse that be like, oh, she's snitching. But what you supposed to do? Like, I ain't saying you're supposed to snitch, but what am I supposed to do when they come back to me and be like, did this resident tell you this? Am I supposed to lie and be like, this person didn't tell me that? Like, what? You're put in like hard situations. But at the end of the day, it's your license, it's your livelihood. This is what you use to take care of your family. So you got to make those decisions to make sure that you cover your butt and protect your license. Okay. That's where I'm getting at with. I keep looking up here, y'all, because my little list right here. I'm trying to look out here, see what I got on here. Um, so I'm a documenter. That's one thing they taught me in nursing school, baby. Document. I had a CNA come to me and say, "Hey, so and so ain't ate in 3 days," and I'm looking like this person definitely didn't go 3 days without eating. I'm sorry, but I just know they didn't, right? But I said, so did they eat on your shift? They said, well, they didn't eat on my shift. So knowing that, I went to the resident. Hey, so you haven't been eating? No, I haven't ate a thing in 3 days, and blah 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 blah. Most nurses won't bother with that. I'm just being honest. Most nurses won't. Let's be real. Me, I have to document. Like I have to go ahead now and put this person on the board for for at least for 3 days for poor oral intake. I have to go and talk to the resident and figure out why you haven't ate in 3 days. Oh, I just haven't been feeling like that. Now I gotta do a full set vitals. Now I got, now I gotta document and put them on a board. Now we gotta monitor it for 3 days. Hey, if they eat, good. If they haven't eaten, then we'll be monitoring it and know, okay, now they for real haven't been eating. Now we can have something in place to figure out what the issue is and fix the issue, right? So that's just me talking about why I gotta document stuff. But that's one thing I always do. I always document myself. If there's a resident who refuses, right? Because one of the biggest things is my mom haven't had a shower in 3 weeks, It'd be those kind of things as well. My mom haven't had a shower. Well, your mom refuses showers, you know that. Well, no, she still need it. You know what happens? I always tell my people these are the showers for today. If they refuse, come to me when they refuse. Because you approach them again. And when I come in, that's the third approach. And then after I come in and I try to, hey, what's going on? Are you not feeling good? Is it too cold? Is it too hot? Are you in pain? What can we do? Because you need your shower. Now, if the person refused by that third time, now what I'm going to do? Document. So when that family come, because these places, you see all the commercials appear. Everybody want to sue the nursing homes. Now, when that family come and they file a complaint and they mad and they all this other stuff, you're going to progress. No, you're going to see each and every time your mom refused. You're going to see the reason why. You're going to see the interventions that as a nurse that I tried to do to kind of help the situation, and they continue to refuse, okay? You just always have to cover your butt. You just always have to do it. That's one of the biggest dings when it comes to these facilities when the state come is people not getting their showers, and also falls too. But just saying. But that's one of the biggest ones. But I mean, ultimately, I just want to talk to you guys about like covering your butt, just making sure you protect your license. Like you go to school and you work hard, you did all this stuff to get to where you are. Don't do stupid stuff. Oh, let me take that back. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all slipped out. Don't do things to jeopardize your license. Don't do things to jeopardize your livelihood. Don't do things to jeopardize your family, okay? Whether it's you, the nurse that's coming into it and not communicating it and not documenting it, or whether you, the nurse that's not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Whether you get caught by the state, whether you get caught by management, or whether you get caught by karma, baby, you will get caught. That's the thing. Like you will get caught. And as I said in my other video, don't think just because you're not 80, 90 years old that you can't be in a nursing home, because at any age you can be in a nursing home. I know a lady who had a stroke. She had 2 toddlers. She was in her 30s. And guess what? Left side paralysis, like from having a stroke, and now she's in a nursing home in her 30s. And her husband at home taking care of 2 toddlers. So just because you're not of back in the day, it was, you're elderly, so you're in a nursing home. These days is people ain't gonna take care of you at home, so you have to see you in this nursing home. So don't think that karma can't always come back and get you. Always cover your butt. Be the best person you can be. And if this is not for you, then don't do it, because all you're doing is putting bad karma out there, and at the end of the day, you're going to suffer in the end. But in the meantime, these residents are suffering too. So That's all I want to talk to you guys about today. Like, comment, and subscribe. If there's any questions that you have, post them below. I'll always read all of the comments. So if there's something that you want to discuss, a topic or anything like that, I can definitely go through that and make a video for you guys as well. I know how it was when I was in nursing school and I wanted to know what nursing was really like, because I see all the little cute people with the stethoscopes and the mattress scrub top, blah blah blah, and I thought it was gonna be cute. Ooh, I done got into nursing and was like, oh, thug life. All right, guys, have a good one.